3, 2, 1.
And welcome to WTL, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
Yep, we're back, baby.
Dude, we've been pounding some parlays.
We have been pounding the parlays this week.
Dude, it's your namesake, but
I
just had a 3-0 day.
Yep, you just went 3 for 3.
MLB,
yep.
man.
MLB.
People are scared about baseball. I mean, you just got to look. Who's hitting dingers?
Yep.
Bet on the dingers.
Dingers. You got to who's hot, who's
Come on
not
now.
kind of thing. It's all about who's getting in the batter's box and going with them. So.
Dude, who's swinging the stick,
It's
right?
all about the overs is what you're talking about.
It was about the overs. I mean, that's something that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
You love to hit those overs.
It's what it is.
I was playing a little conservative there, thinking, man, the unders, not just baseball, but you know what?
Over on everything.
Dude, when the league is geared to hit dingers
Yep.
and the pitchers are just throwing
Straight heat.
Okay, exit velocity.
That's
all
what
right.
it is.
Yeah, so we're going to smash those overs, and we've been doing that. We've been doing quite well
Yep.
lately.
Yep.
All right, so today we have an action-packed, huge episode. What are we diving into?
Bunch of stuff. We got UFC Fight Night this Saturday night at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
We got the USFL Playoffs.
Oh, my God.
We're talking playoffs.
Playoffs already here.
Playoffs. So nope, and like we just said before we got on here, our boy Mike Riley took down the
Coach of the
Year honors in the USFL, and pretty much the teams we've been talking about this whole year are the 4 left in the playoffs. So I think it's pretty fun, and then we'll probably wrap it up with some NHL Stanley Cup Finals action with some college baseball, College World Series here in Omaha. And we're going to hit that hard again.
Dude, as inconsistent as the World Series has been, College World Series has been, we've been hitting it pretty good.
I think so.
Tennessee got bounced out before they even got to the show.
No
but
doubt.
we said from the get-go, stay away from the
no
Vols.
Value.
There's no value. We were high on Texas, but everybody was.
Yeah.
And that was another case where we weren't saying bet on Texas.
Yeah.
We weren't going that route.
I'll kind of follow my sword for that one, Andy. I was trying to hook them, and you even said Boomer Sooner. So I'm going with you on that one. And one team has already punched their ticket to the finals, and they are the Sooners from Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. I did think that was pretty hilarious, and you can't predict that. But they, in a lot of books, had the worst odds kind of going in.
Yeah.
And now they're sitting in the driver's seat. They have the best odds.
They're the only one that hasn't lost. Well, Ole Miss as well, but they're playing Arkansas tonight, so who knows?
Yeah, and this is where I would shift gears. Traditionally, it's like, oh, no, I like the plus money.
Yeah.
I like the plus money. And Oklahoma's on the other side of it. But anyway.
You got it in with plus, though.
I did. So we will get into that, but let's start off with where we want to go with here. Fight night.
It's fight night. It's fight night Apex? On Saturday night in the Apex.
All right, who we got coming up?
We got Arman Tsarukyan. The gamer, Gamrot.
The gamer.
Yep. And this is going to be a good one. These are 2 of the biggest rising stars in the lightweight division. Like I said, fastest rising stars. Mm-hmm. They're both sitting there, I think, at 11 and 12. Ranking-wise in the lightweight division.
Yep, they are.
And these guys do not lose. So it's pretty tight. Obviously, Tsarukyan has a slight edge on the line right now, but I've seen a lot of chatter online where people are really split on this one. So I think it's a good one to talk about.
Yeah, not by a lot. And just kind of run down the record here. Tsarukyan, 18 and 2.
Yeah. And
then on the other side, the gamer, Gamrot. 20-1 with a no contest in there, kind of a goofy deal there.
Yeah.
But similar records, okay, and a lot of times, we'll see these matchups, especially the ones that draw a lot of interest, a lot of viewership, get that pay-per-view really rolling.
No doubt.
We got an old-time fighter that's trying to hold on versus an up-and-comer. That's not the case here.
No.
We have 2 guys kind of in the prime
of their career
making a case for themselves here. One guy out of Georgia, one guy out of Poland. Everything's right in line here as far as how they like to go about their business, how they like to win. I think this is going to be a tight one.
Yeah, no, it is. I just want to kind of get into it here, Andy. Arman Tsarukyan, number 11th ranked fighter contender, is on a 5-fight winning streak. In his last 2 bouts, he has won Fight of the Night performance in both of them, knocking out Cristito Yagos and Joel Alvarez, which are 2 very good lightweight fighters in their own right.
Uh-huh.
The only loss that this guy has is to Islam Makhachev, which is about to get a title shot. So if anybody's on the doorstep after Islam Makhachev, it's this kid if he wins this fight. So this guy has a very well-rounded game. He combines that high-level wrestling with a top control with a little I don't know what you say, Muay Thai ability standing up. So he's my favorite to win this bout at a minus 250 is what I got it on.
Right.
I think it's even moved a little closer than that.
It has
as the week's going to progress here.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, he wins 39% of his fights by KO or TKO.
Yeah.
And then he wins 28%, nearly 30% of his fights by submission.
Yeah.
So that's a well-rounded game.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can say the same for the gamer.
No doubt.
On the other side, winning 35% of his fights by KO or TKO, and then 25% by submission. Okay, so like you got two guys here that are so similar. I just, you know how I get. I get a little leery of this stuff. So I'm looking at the player props. I'm looking at like, okay, do I like the money line? I mean, I hear where you're coming from here. Is there any little edges that a guy like me that might be a little skeptical of just straight up saying might win this one outright?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, Andy. The one thing with Gamrot, I just want to give a little, shine on him because he's a very great fighter. His only loss is a close split decision where he earned Fight of the Night honors as well, so it's a close one. It's good to go. But since then, he has reeled off 3 straight stoppage wins. So most recently defeating Carlos Diego at a TKO last December. So this guy is no pushover, and I mean.
That's affected his average fight time. It's dropped all the way to 7:43. Where Arman's sitting at 11:31.
Yeah.
11 minutes 31 seconds. That's a long time in the octagon.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
So, what I was going to say, Andy, here with Gamrot and the way that he's been freaking stopping people and really getting them into the earlier rounds, it seems like he has that. It seems like he's got the win for it. These both guys have win for it, and the best bet of the night that I'm looking at right now is a minus 105 for this fight to go to the distance. And I think just the way that both of these guys are, they're going to be feeling themselves out for the first couple rounds, and then really, into those championship rounds. It's just going to be a free-for-all.
They don't want to show too much early on. That's how a lot of those UFC, especially the title fights go.
Yeah, so I think I think the tendency to grind out these fights is what these guys like with wrestling and top control should slow the pace down for these fighters. So I really think while these guys have racked up finishes, Andy, many of those have come against inferior fighters, and they have plenty of divisions versus better competition.
Well, okay, so have you seen some trends here? Especially with Tsarukyan, okay, the guy out of Georgia.
Yep.
I mean, he's won 28% of his fights by submission.
Yeah.
However, just running down his stat line here, now this gives me room to pause.
Yeah.
Submission average per 15 minutes is sitting at 0.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, so has he just straight up kind of gone away from that, or is he just blowing through competition that he just dominates? I mean, what's going on there? Because I mean, I'm looking at that, and I lean towards Gamrot. I'm like, at least he could win by a submission here, because his stats way better.
No doubt about it. No, Tsarukyan has just been kind of laying it to people, and like I said, he is kind of a mixed fighter. Mm-hmm. He can wrestle. I'm not saying that he likes to do one more than the other. It's just that.
But if you're a mixed fighter, you have better than 0 on your stat line right
now. That's true. But that's per 15, and most of his fights don't go 15. So.
No, they go on an average 11 minutes 31 seconds.
Yeah. So no, I don't know about that one, Andy. I would not pick either of these guys to win by submission. Looking at the lines here,
no, it's not good either way. It's not good either way. It's just that was shocking to see.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But yeah, this is going to be one of the best fights, one of the better fight nights of the year, just because these guys are so closely put together. Like you alluded to earlier in the cast here, they usually pin a couple up-and-comers versus a couple guys on their way out, and that's how they draw it. This is an actual one where these guys are both contenders.
Two dogs.
And I really think this is going to go the distance. So my best bet of the night is at -105. You can get it on DraftKings right now. Fight to go to the distance, all 5 rounds.
All right. Anything else you want to sprinkle on this UFC here? Fight night in the Apex.
Yeah. There's so many fun bets here. Like the plus money is there for anybody that wants plus money. Like we were just talking about with the submissions.
That's where I like to go.
Gamrot is a submission guy, and he can get a submission, but he's been doing TKOs lately. He's at a plus 1100. If he wins by submission. Ooh. It's just that Tsarukyan does not get submitted,
right?
And neither does Gamrot. So
they're too good for that.
This plus money is a little bit too far gone for me. To win by points, which would be by decision, Tsarukyan sitting there at plus 160, which I think is one of the better bets. And then to win by TKO, if you think Gamrot is rolling right now, I got him at plus 650.
It's not that bad of a bet, is it? It's not that bad.
Like I said, I've been, we follow people to, kind of brush up on our game every once in a while. And a lot of people got Gamer coming out in these championship rounds if he can make it to them and winning this fight. So if he does get to the championship rounds 4 and 5, he has a chance to knock Tsarukyan out.
The table is set
at
there.
plus 650. So
welcome back, everybody, to WTL. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Gibran,
the Parlay Pounder.
Yes, sir.
We've already been pounding it. UFC. You can't get better than that.
Yeah, well.
You've been smashing it UFC lately, so.
Well, I've been smashing some other things too. Some NHL.
Here we go.
Which is what we're getting into now. I don't know if you guys listened last week, but we smashed it on game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals with the Colorado Avalanche winning in the overhitting. If you doubled up on that, you doubled your money. So just stay tuned for a little bit more of that.
I was going to say, Avalanche won that 4-3. We nailed the over. We nailed the winner. Nailed the line, all of it. Just,
what else do you want?
Exactly. So, if you were actually really listening, you could have easily parlayed 3 bets into that, and also got a little sugar on top of that. But all right, so now we're looking ahead a little bit here.
Yes, sir.
Aren't we? Game 5. So we got to kind of get our crystal ball out here.
Yeah.
But I think we have a pretty good feel of what's going on here. It's been pretty sporadic. Other than game 1, I've been a little surprised with the blowouts, but I guess that's just how sports work now. NBA Finals, College World Series.
It seems if you're the home team, you can blow them out.
Just blow them out. In the College World Series, College Baseball World Series, there hasn't been a game that's been within 4 points, and there is no real home team. It's all in Omaha.
You're right.
So it's just bizarre the last couple of months how sports have gone, and that's been tough on bettors.
Yeah.
Just all the more reason to listen to us.
For sure.
I don't know. Yeah. All right, so let's get that crystal ball out here, and let's talk about Game 5. That's Friday, June 24th, 7 p.m. The puck drops. What do you got for me?
Yep, back in Ball Arena in Denver. So, it's just, this series is just shaping up that each home team is going to win every game. Avalanche took game 1 and 2 in Denver. Lightning took game 3 by a blowout. Looks like they might win game 4. They have the better line. So I'm just going to ride with what the line is going to be Colorado at a -150 to win.
So you're taking past information and projecting that in the future?
Yes, because the home team has won pretty much, not pretty much, all of these games.
Every time, yeah.
So they literally can't move this line, Andy, because it's going to happen again. And that over-under is just going to sit there at 6.
Yep.
If it goes 5.5, people, if you see this line at 5.5, jump on it, because that is free money. In the eyes of a bettor, it's free money, especially the scores that have been going out in these Stanley Cup Finals. 4-3, 7-0, 6-2.
Yeah.
That covers 6 every time. It covers 5.5 by a landslide.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it. With that 5.5, what you just said there.
Yeah.
Game 2, Lightning didn't even score, but the over was smashed because the Avalanche scored 7 freaking goals.
For sure.
That is unbelievable to And this is the finals. This isn't some, game on the road mid-season that we don't care about.
Yeah.
Lightning was putting their best game out there, and they still got blown out 70-0, smashing that over.
Smashing the over, and the Ball Arena was smashing the beers in the stands.
Now that's Coors. A lot of Coors being
Coors.
drunk in there.
A lot of Coors. Up in the mountains there. But the other thing that I really wanted to talk about, Andy, is a little player prop that I've been smashing these last few games is Valeri Nichushkin for the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
Usually his shots on goal are sitting right there at 4 to 4.5.
Okay.
And I really think once he gets back to Colorado, he's probably going to have about 7 to 8 shots on goal. So I think he's going to smash the over on that. So if you guys see that on any of your,
Whoa, you're saying he's going to have 4 or 5 more shots than what he has on the road?
I think that's what's going to happen. Oh. No,
that's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. I'm saying he's going to have 4 to 5 more than what they're projecting him at on DraftKings, on Prize Picks, on all that stuff. So if you guys got Valeri on any of your guys', like I said, player prop of the day kind of stuff,
I got to
smash that shots on goal, because they're going to have them low because they're coming off of a couple, light games against the Lightning.
But it's on the road. It's on the road. Yep. I love your perspective on that, because it's on the road and that skews it. But the same thing that we're talking about here, where they're going to want to keep that over under, at 6. They're going to want to keep it there, because that's just what's happening.
That's where the series is at.
They're going to have that tendency to try and keep it there for the player props as well.
Oh, for sure.
And that really does flip. When you get home versus away. So I like where he heads on. I like where he heads at with that. Do you have any other little golden nuggets you want to share with the folks at home?
The only other one that I kind of wanted to do was Cale Maker for the Colorado Avalanche. He's a defensive man that scored twice in Game 2 for Colorado, which you don't see a lot.
Everyone scored in Game 2.
That's what I'm saying is Cale did it twice in the third period, and his shots on goal, I believe, before that game started was 1.5, and he had over 5. So if you guys are looking for another one, Cale's always a good one, because since he's a defensive man, his shots on goal are going to be so much lower than a prolific score.
Right.
And I think it'll hit.
You really think it's going to hit?
I do.
You think Lightning can be caught in a bottle twice playing the Lightning?
Yeah, I think the Lightning are going to get caught in the bottle 3 times at home against the Avalanche.
We got the puns for you too, folks.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, okay. I'm too conservative for that.
Yeah.
But I like where you're at with predicting that over-under is going to stay right there at 6, and I would smash that over as well. It's been working so far.
Yep.
Why would I get away from it?
For sure.
And I really like the energy that happens in Colorado and Denver. That crowd is going to be rocking, and so far it's been nothing but goals, pucks hitting the net. I am smashing that over.
Pucking net.
No doubt.
And one more nugget, Andy, is I still like Colorado to win this series. Obviously, they get the final say. Mm-hmm. Game 7's in Ball Arena in Denver. So if it's going like we're talking about going, and who knows, they might win Game 6 on the road as well. Yeah. And so we don't know what's going to happen, but I really do think the Avalanche are going to win the Stanley Cup Finals.
Welcome back, everybody, to WTL. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
DeBron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We talked UFC.
We did.
NHL.
Yep.
Okay, now we got to get to it. The CWS here in Omaha.
It's our thing.
It is. And you know what? For all the wackiness and these over smashing, all the home runs, which no one can hit a home run in Omaha. Oh, yeah? Well, you think so?
I went to the game last night and I saw a kid had pretty much hit it out of the park.
I mean, these are upper deckers, man.
Yeah.
And everyone's in, like, the 7, 8, 9 batters are smashing it out of the park for all these teams.
It's an anomaly, I guess.
Anomaly or just college baseball.
Just what happens.
Whatever is going on here. But I do got to say, we've been hitting it pretty good here.
Yeah.
We smashed the super regionals.
Yeah.
And we've done pretty good through here, navigating up to this point. And I got to tell you, my overall favorite, who I picked a couple weeks ago. when you're running hot, you gotta get on your horse. You gotta get on your soapbox. I'm gonna get on Oklahoma Boomers Sooner.
They're the only team that's punched their ticket to the College World Series Finals. We still got 2 teams battling it out. Arkansas and Ole Miss playing tomorrow at Wednesday.
Yep.
Or today, probably. And who knows how to pick this one?
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's a trap shoot, but that's exactly why I picked Oklahoma. I loved what they did in the Big 12 Championship.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that memory, that sight of them taking down Texas. And I'm like, oh, these boys are on fire. And you know how much stock I put into who's hot right now?
Yeah.
And dude, it's the Sooners, man.
It is.
And they went from the long shot in a lot of books.
Yeah.
You're looking at plus 1,200.
Yeah.
To now, they are the overall favorites by a margin.
Yeah.
Because they're already in.
Yeah, they are.
All right. It's still plus money. But we got the other side of the bracket to figure out here, and we got the results in here. So it's going to be Arkansas, right, versus Ole Miss.
Yep, for the 1-game playoff now. It's everything's down to this. If you win, you get new life, because if you get matched up against Oklahoma, throw the records out the books, people. It's a 3-game series in the championship of the College World Series. So you're just fighting to get in there, which, it kind of sucks to be Oklahoma because they don't have a loss, but
it doesn't suck to be.
It doesn't. I'm just saying that one of these two teams is going to come into the championship with a loss and only have to beat Oklahoma twice, when
right
the other, if
Oklahoma hasn't suffered a loss yet,
exactly,
and they're sitting at plus 185. That might come down a little bit. It probably will.
It will.
It probably will. But here's where this is what I'm looking at. Arkansas has a better pitching staff. I truly believe that. They got a deep staff. Obviously, they showed that throughout this series, being able to battle back, stay in games that they probably shouldn't have been able to stay in, and then persevere and knock Ole Miss off and forcing this, like we're calling it, a 1-game playoff here. However, Ole Miss hasn't had to get into their staff as much as Arkansas.
No doubt.
So there's your rub, okay? So you have maybe Arkansas with a better staff, but, man, it's depleted right now.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss, they're swinging some hot bats, and now we're into a 4 and 5 starters. It's hard for me to look past Ole Miss. It really is.
Yeah. No, I got what you're saying, but like you were saying, Arkansas with the pitching staff, Hagen Smith led the way Wednesday night with 5 innings pitched with 8 strikeouts, really keeping that run count down for Ole Miss, so that Arkansas could really, bleed this game out and get to where they needed to be.
Yeah, did with that.
I have to disagree with you, Andy.
Oh.
I'm going with the Omahags. I have to. I'm kind of going with my heart on this one. Yep, I'm kind of going with my heart on this one. I went to the game last night, saw them win then.
Yeah. You're a Van Horn guy, man. You're a holdover.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
And this was one of my teams that I picked.
You're right.
Kind of.
Yep.
If it wasn't Texas, it was probably the Omaha.
Arkansas.
So I like them. I don't know if they can do it, but I really would like to see it happen.
They can do it in a 1-game playoff series scenario like this. Yeah, and there's 2 SEC teams squaring off. Both have beat each other, not only in conference, in season play, but here in Omaha.
No doubt about it.
Okay, so yeah, you can't just throw that out the window. I'll be curious to see where that line eventually ends up.
For sure.
Either way, it's going to be tough.
And like you said, what's so cool about the College World Series is that whoever wins this game tomorrow night, and we're talking about their pitching staff being depleted and everything, these guys don't have to play till Saturday again.
Right.
So everything is everything. The counters go back to 0.
If Arkansas can get there. Yep. If Arkansas can get there.
If they can get there, it's back to 0, and Oklahoma says, uh-oh.
Yeah.
We've been resting a little bit, but Arkansas is going to get their rest, and they're hot. And we're hot too, but that's what's so fun about this time of year in Omaha. Like I said, I went to the game last night. The energy was just awesome.
Oh, it's been sellouts. And the evening games, the night games, they've all been sellouts.
It was awesome. It's
crazy.
It's so fun watching, the Omaha skyline down there and, watching a baseball game and the party at the mat after the fact gets a little wild. But
Corey Jones, little shout out there for CJP.
Yes, sir. But it's just a lot of fun. So if you get a chance to go down there this weekend, guys, definitely go do it. You might run into Jabron down there throwing down some parlays.
You're going to be everywhere. You're going to be in Omaha. You're going to be in Las Vegas. It doesn't matter, man.
Well, I got to stay up to date on these lines. So you know what? I'm just going to these places.
All right. So getting back to some of the storylines here with the College World Series, it's been overs smashing, and it's been runaway victories. I mean, the closest game up until a night ago was full runs.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been blowouts. And the series has been good, but the individual games have been lacking drama.
Yes.
The winning runs have been scored in the third and fourth innings, and just whatever the opposition could do to get back, it's not enough. It's too little, too late.
Right.
So that has been really bizarre that 9 games out of 10 have been just blowouts.
Well,
by any measure.
And that's what's so weird about last night's game, Andy, is 3-2 with depleted pitching staff. So you would think that they would hit them harder, but you're a former baseball player. You can just tell when the game tightens up.
Right.
When you have that leash of you only have one more chance.
Yeah.
It
you
tightens
make that
up.
pitch.
You make that pitch. You
Yeah.
make that play. You dive for it. You make the diving catch. So I really see this game, tonight being a very close game between Arkansas and Ole Miss, and have the best man win to go on to see Oklahoma in the finals, and then it's back to square one.
No, I like that.